Hello everyone, we're going to be doing homework number 12, number 15, and number 16. So let's start with 15. Find the area to the right of 5.578 under the chi-square distribution with 11 degrees of freedom. So just a little reminder. Previously, we used the degrees of freedom in alpha to find the critical value. Now we're going to actually do the opposite, and we're going to use the critical value and degrees of freedom to find alpha. With that out of the way, let's go over to the whiteboard. So as previously said, we're going to be finding alpha. Now we find alpha is with a table. Now the table we're going to be using is the chi-square table, which is this. Now, as previously said, we need the critical value and degrees of freedom. Now, funnily enough, let me just grab that. They just give it to us automatically. We have degrees of freedom of 11 and a critical value of 5.578. So, there it is. Now, with that out of the way, we can actually use the chi-square table now. So, we have a degrees of freedom of 11. So, there's 11. And now we have a critical value of 5.578. So, oh my gosh. So we're going to go to 11, all the way, there it is, 5.578. And we're going to go all the way up, and that is going to be our alpha. So our alpha is x squared 0.900. Now in the homework, it just asks us for the 1 decimal point. So we're going to do that. We're going to take the 0.900, and we're just going to use it as 0.9. So our answer is B. Now let's move on to 16. Number 16. A contingency table is made up of 8 rows and 4 columns. How many degrees of freedom are present? So let's go over to the whiteboard. So as Assisting says, we're going to be finding degrees of freedom. Now we're going to be doing differently since we have rows and columns. So we're going to be using this formula. Row minus 1 times columns minus 1 equals degrees of freedom. Now, we have 8 rows and 4 columns. So with that out of the way, we're just going to plug them in to the respective places. So it's going to look something like this. 8 minus 1 times 4 minus 1 equals degrees of freedom. So once we do 8 minus 1 and 4 minus 1, it's going to be 7 times 3. And 7 times 3 is 21. And with that, our answer is D. And here's all the work. Have a good night.